Well, this is going to be a difficult one to talk about. On the Count of Three was directed by Jared Carmichael, who also stars in it with Christopher Abbott, and tells the story of two best friends, both dealing with their own personal and mental health struggles, who see no way out and the only escape is to commit suicide together. But, before they can do that, they embark on a journey to right some wrongs on their last day on Earth. If you couldn't tell from that premise, this is not going to be a movie for everyone. If you're someone or have known someone that's dealt with suicidal urges or have lost someone to suicide, this might not be the movie for you to see. Telling a story about someone's struggle with mental health is already an incredible challenge, but to make the choice to tell it as a dark comedy is an even bolder one, and I think we should commend Carmichael for successfully being able to do just that. On the Count of Three is not only a surprisingly funny movie, but a truly great story about friendship and the pains many go through with mental illness. This film doesn't offer easy answers, but it knows to make sure the audience knows there is help out there. Carmichael and Abbott are fantastic in this movie. Not only do they have amazing chemistry with one another, but the way they both toe the line of drama and comedy is incredibly impressive. There are certain scenes and line deliveries that, done with other actors, probably wouldn't have come off as comedic, but these two have such a strong grasp of their characters and the tone of this film that you're laughing a lot more than you'd expect. Making a strong, dark comedy, you have to know how to properly balance the comedy with the darker aspects of the film. I touched on this in my Not Okay movie review, but this film is an incredible case of how to balance the darkness and the comedy. You never want to overload your audience with one tone or the other. Doing this could result in people thinking your film is tonally confused and doesn't know what it's trying to do. To make both tones work, you either need to gradually leave the comedy behind and let the darkness take over, or you need to split the difference between the dark and comedic. Here, Carmichael went with essentially splitting the difference. For every scene that can be very dark, there's always a moment or scene afterwards to alleviate the tension and have the audience laugh. While it can certainly be a controversial choice to tell this story like it is as a dark comedy, I think it worked to the film's advantage. In films and TV lately, we've been having interesting depictions of mental health thrown at us. Shows like 13 Reasons Why help pave the way for mental health to really be at the forefront, while not also being a great representation of it or how to deal with it. Films like Joker and Dear Evan Hansen are both very complicated messes in terms of their depiction, as they both go to the extremes with the tone and genres that they're wanting to do good in showing mental health gets lost in translation. Here, I think Carmichael understood that mental health is not an easy thing to get right in film or TV. You're going to have good depictions and you're going to have bad depictions. The key, I think, is getting to the heart of these characters and having them be written like actual people. The previous examples I gave tried to do this, but either went overboard in certain areas or just acted like they knew what they were talking about. Here, it's clear Carmichael and the writers took their time and made sure to depict it as close to reality as they could. There's going to be a lot of tough and dark moments people go through, but there's a lot of laughs and love that everyone can experience also. On the Count of Three is not going to be a movie for everyone, that much is for sure. But if you're able to watch this by yourself or with others, I think it's well worth your time. Carmichael and Abbott are fantastic together, and the story that's told balances the darkness and comedy incredibly well. I think telling more stories like this is crucial to opening up the conversation about mental health more, and can be a good example of how to depict it in a realistic way. I'm going to give On the Count of Three an 8 out of 10.